How do you find the key of a song or a sample in Ableton? We're gonna be going over that right after this. What's up everybody, Lennon Bone here with soundandpatternsmusic.com. I appreciate that you're here. If this is your first time, today is the first of what will be a series of videos on how to write a song in Ableton and kind of beginners tutorials on that. So it means the world that you're here. If you dig that style content, please consider subscribing and hitting that little notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out. So let's get right into this today. We're talking about how to find out what key a song or a sample is in. These ideas are actually transferable to other DAWs, so feel free to watch this video even if you're not working in Ableton. But as we get deeper into the video, you'll want to see this if you're an Ableton user, because there's just a few little shortcut things that you may or may not know about that could help you in your compositions later. All right, the first part of this little hack is I actually make a major and a minor scale for me to just have at the ready before I even dig into the sample. So let's do that now. All right, I'm gonna highlight a little 2-bar loop here, Control and click at the top. I'm going to do insert new MIDI clip, and then down here at the bottom I'm going to Control click and put this at 1/4 for quarter notes, and then I'm going to draw in my C major scale, and I'm just starting there because it's really the easiest one for me to do. Okay, so here's my C. You can see it here on the left here. And then when I'm making the C major scale, the nice thing about that is I'm only going to use the white notes from that C up to the next C. So it goes like this, C, and then I'm going up to D. You can see it's white here on the left. E, F, G, and again, you can see that they're white over here. A, B, and we'll take a listen to that so you can hear what it sounds like. Perfect. Now for the minor scale, I'm just going to click on my clip, Command D for duplicate, and then I'm going to take my third note, get off my little draw tool so I can just drag it, take my third note, which is E, C, D, E, bring that down 1 semitone. And 1 semitone literally means just one little movement here. Okay, C, D, E, and then 4, 5, and then my 6th note is gonna come down, and then my 7th note is gonna also come down. So my 3rd, my 6th, and my 7th notes will come down for the minor scale, and here's what that sounds like. So now we have our major and minor scales together. Perfect. Now we can dig into the actual sample and start to see what key we're in. Now the first thing we're going to do is just listen to the sample as intently as possible, and then you'll kind of hear, I'm going to just play along with it, pick some notes, and see which ones start to fit and feel like, I'm looking for what's called a home note or a tonic, so a note that kind of all the way through the phrase feels natural to me, okay? So here's my sample. Okay, I'm just listening along. I'm gonna start playing along with it. That works. Okay. Yeah. So once I hit that note, which turned out to be an E, it actually felt the most natural to me. It felt like a resolution, like we had found a zone, you know what I'm saying? So the next thing I'm gonna do is go back into my block. I'm gonna pull up my block here, and when we look at it, I actually wanna highlight all the notes now. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off because we don't want to hear that. And then I'm going to bring them up until I see that my C down here becomes the E, because the E is where we ended up. Okay, so there we go. Now my C is in the E zone here. So now it's as simple as that. We have an E major scale because my E is the starting note. You know, a major scale in C, it's going to be shaped the same in E. So then I'm going to go over to my minor scale block and do the same thing, highlight all my notes, or I'll do Command A to highlight all of them. And then I'm going to just use my arrow key and slide that up to the E starting point. So now I have an E major and an E minor scale. So what I'll do now is slide this over top of my sample, and then I'm going to let them play through and see if it feels good or sounds good to me. Okay, that's not really happening. We got some clashes right about there, right? That G sharp. Okay, let's try the minor. Yeah, that feels a lot better to me. And now you're going to find that not every note in these progressions might fit. So the best way to do it is just sort of play around with what's there. And I'm going to show you another little trick as you're getting into actually writing more melodies and things like that. Or in this instance where we're just trying to figure out what key we're in, a quick way to just kind of be able to bounce around and play some notes if you're not a piano player. So since I feel good about us being in the key of E minor, I'm going to take my E minor block. I'm going to drag this over the length of the whole clip, okay? And then I'm going to bring my scale back here and put it behind the loop, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this little fold button here. Now what that does is that only allows the notes that have been used within the piano roll. So now we can only play an E major scale when we start drawing in notes, which is super cool. So as I slide over here, I can just start inserting notes sort of at random, and I'll actually switch over here, Command click, and I'll go eighth notes, and then I'm just going to kind of play around and see what happens here, okay? Cool, and then we'll start our loop right here with our random notes folded in. Cool, I like this already. I mean, you know, obviously we're not there, but let's take another listen and we can change a couple things even. And then just to tidy this up, I'll fold this in so I don't have to start there anymore. Okay, this one I don't know if I like. And then to make a new note here, all I did was click this one, Command D to duplicate it, okay? Okay, I'm just kind of dragging these around at random. Make that an octave. I like that better. Cool, And just like that, we've come up with a melody in a matter of minutes. I mean, that's so cool that you're able to do that. And what that does for me is allow me to know that not only have I found my key, but now I can start experimenting within that key and creating something on the fly. And that's such a cool thing. We'll go deeper into this kind of stuff, like writing melodies and stuff, in a separate video. But that's it, guys. I hope you dig this content. I hope this was valuable to you and you're able to use this to your advantage. Please let me know if it works. Again, you can apply this to anything from samples to songs. Just drag the song into your session. You can do the same kind of thing. Again, thanks for being here. If you dig this, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.